Hello friends, my name is James Hawkins, and as always I'm joined by my good friends Bryan and Anthony Alessino, as well as my younger brother, Jack Hawkins. On this show we're all about parlays, overs, unders, spreads, and money lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Parlay-Vous. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Parlay-Vous podcast. Just your boy, Jimmy Hawkins, the Dean Malenko of podcasting, the man of 1,000 nicknames, and Bryan Castiglione today. No Jack, no Alessino. It is what it is. Fuck him. We don't need him anyway. This is a late episode. We're coming to you on a Friday night. Shit, it is what it is. Go fuck yourself. It's snowing. Life's tough, and then you die. That's just part of it. It is what it's going to be. Wildcard weekend delivered for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about that a little bit if you want. What was your favorite game?
Honestly, probably Boys and Packers.
Me too.
Boys and Packers was a very good game.
Fucking too, dude. 27-0 at halftime is electric.
Because I was saying, and I was gonna bring up that point too. It's funny. I was saying, because I was watching the games with Ann on Saturday, and I was like, these games are all blowouts. Every single one of them was a blowout. But yeah, my favorite game was definitely the Packers-Cowboys game. Going back to the game real quick, it was, as much as I like seeing the Cowboys lose and get beat up on and following the normal rule, but it was very interesting to see the offense completely be defunct, like just completely not functional at all.
CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, not on the same page.
But not even an off night, just completely disconnected. Nothing was working, it felt like. And Dak, man, I don't know. I'm not even really sure what was going on.
Look, I know a lot of people that are like, obviously us New York fans and any fan across the country who just likes, if you're not a Cowboy fan, you hate the Cowboys for the most part. That's kind of just what they're one of those teams. Just like the Yankees, just like the Patriots, just like the Celtics and the Lakers, It's one of those teams where if you're not a fan, you hate them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, very happy with it on Twitter and everything. But the Cowboys fans, the known public Cowboys fans, are the worst. Skip Bayless, who we all know is a lifelong devout Cowboys fan, he came out and said that Dak Prescott was a fourth rounder for a reason, and he is not a quarterback, or not a starter, not a playoff, not a Super Bowl winning quarterback in the NFL, and that he's the problem, and they need to get rid of him. Shannon Sharp, who's not a Cowboys fan, but another, he called, on Monday morning, he called him empty calorie Dak. It's like all of his stats are empty stats. He does everything great when the lights are brightest and the moment's the biggest. He is a fourth round quarterback.
I mean, it's...
Hey, man.
The point could be made.
History shows that it's not wrong. I just don't necessarily think Dak is the problem.
No.
I think the problem is Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Let's just call it how it is. And let's just do it this way, right? I mean, both teams in the NFC East were paper tigers all year. And people were saying it about the Cowboys all year that this team, they're paper tigers. Pretty much when they got blown out by San Fran, mid-year, that was kind of when everyone was like, oh, this team, they're not for real. The Eagles, it kind of never really, this conversation didn't even really begin to mount until the Giants smacked the fuck out of them in Week 18. And then even then, people want to play well, they were already in. It was just maybe a shot that they could win the division. And cool. All their starters played the whole first half, right, Bryan?
Yeah.
And what was the score at halftime?
Oh, man.
24-0.
Yeah, I was going to say 24.
It was 24-0 at halftime. And then going into halftime, they see the score of the Cowboys game. They realize it's over no matter what. Let's not get anyone hurt and pull everybody.
Yeah.
So do not act like this is a 2009 Jets situation where they played the Bengals in Week 17, and the Bengals were already in, and the Jets needed a win plus help to get in, and they beat the Bengals because the Bengals didn't play any of their starters, and then the next week wild card round, they played Cincinnati again and beat them 2 weeks in a row to keep going. This isn't one of those situations. This isn't the 2010 team when the Colts had the playoffs locked up already and nothing to play for, and they pulled everybody. They came out there in that game trying to win a football game, got the shit beat out of them by one of the bottom 5-7 teams in the league, and then threw up the white flag coming out of halftime. That's kind of where the paper tiger conversation with the Eagles started to begin. But if you listen to the show, and Bryan, you hear me talk about it all the time, I've been talking about this since the Jets beat them. They are not a scary team. They weren't all year. And then you had the fact that A.J. Brown wasn't playing. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
And Devontae Smith banged up also in that game. I just wanted to go back to the Cowboys game.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We haven't left the Cowboys
This was
game.
another point that you brought up earlier in the year that I thought was interesting. So Aaron Jones and the two other running backs combined for almost 145 yards. And I think that's really interesting because, like you had mentioned in the middle of the year, we're running 3 safeties at linebackers. And these, I mean...
And I, not to cut you off, I said it last week too.
No, definitely. And I feel like when you watch the game, this is just, I'm not saying anything crazy, but the runs by Aaron Jones, it wasn't just like a grind out 118 yards. These were like huge runs, opening up, the offense so that we're anticipating the run and Jordan Love's bombing down to any of the 3 receivers, which is nuts because, I like Christian Watson. I think he's going to be good. Dealt with a hamstring injury all year. But, geez, Jaden Reed, why am I blanking on the other guys'
It's
name?
Dontavian Wicks and
Romeo Doubs.
It's fun you mention that, right?
Crazy.
Because, you remember Jaden Reed's stat line?
No.
Goose eggs. 0 for 0. 0 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards.
But it does feel like everyone on there is a weapon. Like,
I think it's time to say it. I think Jordan Love's fucking legit.
Yeah, I mean,
fucking good, like top 7 quarterback next year. Good.
I never was like, I was always 50-50 on Jordan Love because I never thought he was bad, but I didn't really know because there was always, I felt like in the beginning of the season, like we had said earlier, it was always come out, throw a bad pass, next pass out, 65-yard bomb down the field. There was just no like consistency, but he seems to be definitely figuring it out.
Somebody said that the Packers figured out developing quarterbacks in the NFL.
Absolutely.
It's like you have a guy, you develop him, draft his replacement while the guy's still in his prime, trade the post-prime Pro Bowler to the Jets, and start the new guy. They did it with Favre, they did it with Rodgers, and now I'm looking forward to Jordan Love being the starting quarterback of the New York Jets in 2037.
Yeah, really.
So that'll be exciting. I think Jordan Love is legit. And like I know I said it earlier in the year at one point, since LaFleur got to town, it just kind of felt like this Packers team didn't have much of an identity because it felt like LaFleur wanted to run the ball and control the clock, and that's just not Rodgers' game. So it kind of felt like, a duel of the fates there with the two of them. And this season, they kind of felt like they got more of an identity, play good defense, keep it close, run the ball, mix in some short game, take deep shots. And run the ball, mix in some short game, and take deep shots worked flawlessly against the Cowboys.
Yeah, and also, going back to the identity thing, it is a very young team. There's a lot of rookies.
Youngest starting lineup in the playoffs.
Right. So, like you said, finding the identity, of course, that's going to come later on in the season. But damn, is it interesting for next year, now that we're kind of like here.
Did you guess?
Oh, no, I didn't guess, but I could do
That's
it live.
right. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's only a couple games.
I mean, it's just us two, so you could just guess first, and then I'll go after.
I got caught up in the...
Yeah.
No.
It is what it is.
But it's interesting, I pulled up the stats for the game. Prescott still threw for 400 yards.
Yeah, but how many of them, is it broken down? Like, give me a true box score, because how many came in the fourth quarter?
I mean, no, of course, it had to have, because it felt like, going into... It did kind of feel like coming out of halftime that the Cowboys were going to maybe pull it together, and then they started to a little bit, and I think Dak threw a pick towards the end of the game, and that was pretty much what decided it. Let me see.
I wish I could remember who it was. It was somebody relatively prominent in this industry, the podcasting, sports talk industry, said that the final score of that game was not 48-32. The final score of that game was 27-0 because it was over at halftime, and the second half was the first half of the Cowboys' 2025 preseason or 2024 preseason, and that's kind of really how it was. I mean, there was no coming back from that once it got to 27-0. It was over.
Yeah. Especially in AT&T, I mean, huge, absolutely huge.
Yeah.
I guess we can move on to what else we have. I mean, Cleveland versus Houston?
Not what I was expecting,
No.
but very electric, very exciting. I mean, that was the beginning of my bad week was betting on Cleveland. It was the only game I lost against the spread, but I went big on them, so it kind of sucked there. But, yeah, I mean, Cleveland's not going anywhere. We'll see what happens with Watson. I think this team's going to be hard-pressed to have, like, a good, viable backup option in the event that Watson gets hurt again or sucks like he was sucking this year. Because Stefanski's a good coach, and they know their window is now, if it's not already closing with these guys.
And without Nick Chubb.
Yeah, and
still.
Bring in.
Toward the ACL early in the season, we'll be good to go.
Yeah, Chubb's coming back. AC's still solid, right? He's still over there?
Yeah, Cooper's been killing it.
Yeah, AC's still solid at a very young 31 or 32 years old. They're a good team, good defense, well coached. I like Stefanski. I think he's one of the better minds in the league. And, I mean, look, I'm pulling for Houston. I don't know if I'm going to bet on them tomorrow afternoon, but I'm pulling for them. I think it's exciting. I've been a big Stroud boy since Ohio State. Watching them lose that fucking playoff game on New Year's Eve last year killed me. It's like the first New Year's Eve I was my parents' DD, so I was home alone watching the fucking Rose Bowl, I think it was, that year. And he tried, man. He came up just short. So, I mean, really excited for him and D'Amico Ryans. Love it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think they're definitely a team to be fucked with in the future.
No, I mean, I was going to say the same thing. You know what it is with just to mention the Cleveland game real quick, I think basically what happened there is, unfortunately, the 38-year-old Joe Flacco showed up. That's just pretty much how it goes. It sucks that it was in the wild card weekend, but the story was nice. They got him there. Everything worked out. But, no, Houston for sure, coming off this team is going to be very good. The defense is young. Blake Cashman, a couple other guys. D'Amico Ryans, defensive coach, and the offense is
Blake Cashman, just once again another player that wasn't good enough to stay on the Jets.
He was on the Jets?
The Jets drafted him.
I didn't know that.
They traded him to Houston for a 7th-round pick. And I'm pretty sure on this podcast, like, bowed down to Joe Douglas for getting anything for Blake Cashman because his big deal in college was he had injury problems. He had 3 surgeries on his right shoulder, I think. He had shoulder surgeries for sure. Three surgeries in college. I think they might have all been on his shoulder. Rookie year, injuries. Out of the 4 years he was with the Jets, or the 3 years he was with the Jets, he was hurt for 2 of them. Mm-hmm. And then they flipped him. A player that they probably would have just cut, they flipped him for a 7th-round pick. And now, every week on the Texans, he's lighting it the fuck up. So it's awesome.
But I think, the team, it is. D'Amico Ryans, good defensive coach. The defense is young. And also the offense, I mean, it's just so high power and talented. It kind of can just function on its own, I mean, I'm sure D'Amico has his hands on the offense in some way, but to really be able to focus in on the defense in this NFL seems to be kind of the way to do it nowadays.
This is all without Tank Dell.
Right, without Tank Dell.
I think somebody who's not getting enough credit on this podcast for sure, in our inner circle for sure, and as far as I can tell, the national media, Devin Singletary is not getting enough credit.
He is playing.
Fucking, what's his name? I can't even. Damian, whatever, Pierce.
Yeah.
He was at the top of everyone's board.
Yeah.
He was all over fantasy boards early on. He don't smell the field.
Yeah.
That guy don't even got a shower after games, dude. It's all Devin Singletary all the time, grinding out the tough yards, making it a little easier for CJ.
Yeah.
And Dalton Schultz, what a great fit he was over there. They're a good, exciting team. I think the game's going to be fun, and we'll have time to talk about that later. But, yeah, that was not what I was expecting at all. To see a rookie quarterback like that just absolutely not fold at all and stand strong.
No, just completely going for it. What else did we have?
We had KC Miami, which I did. I mean, that did that not. Other than the expected Kelsey turnaround, which, we should have just known that Taylor Swift, the evil white woman that she is, just showed up like a vampire and sucked all the talent out of his body. And he can't play football anymore. Maybe he should follow Jason and just retire and make fucking babies, make little High School Musical babies with Taylor Swift. Do I want to be the jock or do I want to sing? I don't know, Dad. That's going to be their kid. And then, other than that game went pretty much, flip Rashee Rice performance with what we expected out of Travis Kelce, and it went exactly how I told you guys it would. I said not only is 4.5 a mortal lock, I would take them at -10. They wind up winning by 19. Yeah. Again, hate to say it, and this is pretty much all I have to say about this game. And then first of all, whenever there's a team, like a warm weather team, going to play somewhere like tragically cold, and then They do the thing where Tyreek Hill's out there in a fucking sleeveless T-shirt in pregame,
Right.
and they all came out there before the Chiefs did, and they're like, "No, we ain't scared about the cold. It ain't cold at all." I was watching all this shit happen in pregame, and I'm like, "You're lying.
Yeah.
You're lying."
Fucking freezing.
Every time that happens, it never works out well for the team that thinks they're psyching themselves up or psyching the other team out. Never works well, and this is just what I have to say. Look, I think this year has been a real fucking check mark for me on my all of the Alabama quarterbacks are bad take. And
Yeah, it's been a good year for you.
I recently saw a post that it said my betting group chat is fire, and then it's the group chat, and it's the picture of all three of them at Alabama smoking cigars, Hurts, Tua, and Mac Jones. And I say this because my point is Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, sure, he's real accurate. He's a good kid. Like, it seems like a guy that I would like, representing my organization. I like him. He's likable. He's super accurate. Every ball he throws is underthrown.
Yeah.
Every ball. Tyreek Hill had to come back to every single ball in that game. And maybe if they connect on a few of those, this game is different. But that's, once again, the problem. And the other thing I have to say, look, the numbers are going to tell everybody that this statement is wrong. I think Mike McDaniel, again, love Mike McDaniel. Would love for him to be the coach of the Jets. Likeable guy, good coach, love his story, love everything about him. Think he's doing too much. With the
offense,
with the motion on 96% of the snaps and fucking and all of this shit and all these designs. Like, there's only so many fucking play designs that are going to work. Now, we can change things like take an outside runner or pitch and turn it into a little lateral screen, but it's still the same concept. There are only so many concepts that really are going to succeed at the NFL level, and I just think, look, the numbers are going to show it because they really beat the shit out of the bad teams, but show me a good team that they fucking put in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know how many good teams they put in danger this year, and ultimately, I think part of that falls on Mike McDaniel. Part of that falls on Tua's inability to hit the deep ball. But this is why it's more a Mike McDaniel thing, right? Because you know what you have.
Right.
You don't have top 10, top 15 arm strength with your quarterback. So you got to stop dialing up 35-yard post routes to Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Like, you got to find other ways to use Tyreek's spill.
Too,
yeah.
A little bit.
Find other ways to get these guys' speed involved. And the third part of it, which I'm not going to let go under the radar here, is that their defense was banged up.
Their defense was
no
Chubb,
no Jalen Phillips, no Xavier Howard.
Yeah.
Like, they were beat up on defense.
6 starters out. 6 other starters. I mean, 6 including
six total defensive starters out.
Yeah, it's tough. I really don't have much to say. I thought Miami would at least cover, but I thought, with the weather, I figured they'll figure it out. It's a playoff game at least, but no, that was definitely not the case. Do we want to talk about Rams-Lions?
Yeah, no, so this was, I know we both said our favorite game was the Packers-Cowboys game, but this was the game of Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah.
So exciting, so electric. Unfortunately, I came out on the wrong side of things. I mean, look, both these teams are for real. I think the Rams, I've been backing them all year. I thought they were better than they seemed on the surface. And this is a hell of a run. This was a rebuilding year. This was a rebuilding year. We were talking about Stafford might get shut down again early if it's not going well.
Right.
They come out. I mean, the bottom line here, there's 3 possessions from the 5 or from the 10, 3 end goal to go possessions. The Rams come away with 9 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's the game.
Yeah.
That's the whole game. The Lions took more advantage of their opportunities, and they stood on their head when they had to on defense. And this was one of those things I would have been happy with either team because I love rooting for both of these teams. Stafford is just like one of my guy of guys, honestly. And I really like this story in Detroit, which who won it, right? And I'm really hoping to God that if they win this week, you got to go to the game.
Yeah.
You got to go to the big show.
Yeah. I mean, Rams, I mean, Puka Nacua, man, 181 yards. I mean, what? That's insane. Like,
the Lions' secondary is terrible.
Right.
And that's my concern, going forward here, going into this week, going into a potential next week. If they have to match up against Green Bay, forget about San Fran. if somehow Green Bay comes out with a win and they have to go up against Green Bay, we just saw what Green Bay did to Dallas.
Yeah. Against that secondary?
Yeah. So that, and Dan Campbell finds ways to get around that. We're going to run the ball a little bit, and we're going to fucking try to not let you be able to beat us. We're going to play in zones. We're going to try to... Aiden Hutchinson's a monster.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to say. I was wrong about Aiden Hutchinson. Coming out of the draft, don't get me wrong, I didn't, hate him. He had short arms, and I was concerned. And I said, don't be surprised if this pick doesn't work out. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Props to the Lions. Props to Aiden Hutchinson. That dude's a fucking beast.
Yeah, he is a beast.
Absolutely out of control. And he's one of those guys that'll line up anywhere. He's not a 3-tech or a wide 9-tech or an inside 1 or 2.
Too.
He'll play wherever the fuck he has to go, dude. He don't care.
Yeah, he's definitely fun.
And that's an advantage. That's a chess piece because it's like J.J. Watt back in the day. Like, you find him first, and then you base your protections around that.
Yeah.
So, Eagles-Bucks, exactly how I saw it going before Brown came out, for the most part. I didn't think before I knew Brown was going out, I thought the Bucks would win this game. I'm not going to say I thought they'd blow them out 32-7.
I'll say the same.
But I thought they would win handedly. I really did, because they're red hot. They're playing real hot. Bowles is a great defensive coach. And the Eagles have been stopped more than they haven't this year. Even games they won, they just got by. They were getting shut down a lot. If it wasn't for the tush push, we wouldn't even be talking about Jalen Hurts as like a rusher.
Yeah.
All of his touchdowns are coming off of the tush push for the most part this year. And I know that the Niners like to say that they gave you the map for how to stop these guys, but it was the Jets all the way back when the Jets showed you the roadmap to how to do it.
Just get in his face.
Just contain him with 4.
Yeah.
Contain him with 4. Don't let him beat you outside. And don't let anyone get behind you. And that's how you beat them. You don't let Hurts hurt you with your legs, and you don't let him beat you deep over the top. And you're going to hang in there with these guys.
Also, Baker.
Electric.
Baker. Alessino said it in the group chat, and he's probably right. He probably played himself into a contract on this team.
$100 million contract is what Alessino said.
Yeah. $100 million. We'll see, but absolutely, the Bucks have to bring him back.
Gino just got 100 last year. He's getting 100.
Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, it's funny. It's what it is. We always talk about the Baker cycle, but I feel like for the last few weeks he's been kind of in one part of the cycle.
I think the Baker Mayfield cycle is not real. I think it's a fraudulent thing. I think Baker got shafted everywhere he was in the last. But. Not really, though. So, he got shafted in Cleveland.
Absolutely.
He played through a fucked up labrum in his throwing shoulder, but a run of fucked up things. Despite that, he gave them their first playoff win in God knows how long, definitely in this iteration of the Browns. Because if you remember, in 98, the Cleveland Browns moved to Baltimore and became the Baltimore Ravens. And then in 99 or 2000, they remade the Browns.
Gotcha.
So in this current iteration, the post-Ravens Browns, their first playoff win, I think. And he got the fucking shaft because of the Deshaun Watson deal. He gets sent out to Carolina, which was set up to fail no matter what. That was a terrible organization with terrible leadership all the way from the owner down to the head coach with not a lot of talent. And then he shows up to the Rams midseason with an impossible task, and he wins a game when he's studying the playbook on the plane for the first time 5 days before that. And then he's put in a situation where you're not set up to get the deal that he got because he's playing with the Rams in half of the year when he showed up as a midseason acquisition as a quarterback. He don't know these guys' names.
Right.
He doesn't know what they like to be or what plays we want to get to. Has to take the 1-year deal in Tampa that he takes. And he's doing, exactly. This is like the Tannehill situation, but not quite because Tannehill just got traded once after he was written off, and then Tannehill made it work. But not often do we see a guy play for 4 teams in 3 years and then get a long-term, big money starter contract after the fact.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of things were going against him the last year.
Yeah, I saw. It's funny. I saw something online of him in a picture in Cleveland when he was wearing that like pea coat after he got hurt. And then did you see this? And there was one of him in Florida, and he was like Baker Mayfield as a visual representation of what moving to Florida can do to you.
No, I didn't see that. That's incredible.
He's in like a button down with a Bucks hat on.
Yeah, dude. Anyone who gets drafted to Cleveland should just retire immediately.
But
what
no,
a terrible place to live.
It's great to see Baker doing well. I like seeing good Baker. It's definitely fun for football. I don't know if I sent it to the group or to you directly, the clip of him calling the play at the line for the touchdown. I may have sent it in the group, but he walks up to the line. This was last week, and hard counts real quick. The linebacker steps forward. He immediately starts audibling out of it, and then right before he snaps, he goes, "Chris, and then as soon as he backs up, bombs it down to Chris Godwin in the end zone touchdown. It was very,
satisfactory.
Good quarterback stuff.
Satisfying to watch.
Very, very good stuff to watch, honestly.
It's only Zach Wilson can do that.
The way football should be played.
The right way.
Yeah. It was sick.
Yeah, no, big fan. Big fan of what Baker did this year for sure. And fuck the Eagles and fuck the Cowboys. And I'm glad they both lost. And now we get to move on to this week. Should we guess some lines?
Yeah. All right. I'll announce and go first. That was not good. Announce and go first because I didn't actually guess these lines. So 4:30 on Saturday, we got Houston traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Man, I know it's going to be at least a touchdown, but how much higher? I'm going to say 7.5.
Baltimore. I'm going to take Baltimore -10.
-10. All right. I should have really been prepared for this.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take Baltimore
-10. Yeah, the defense is just too good. And we have Baltimore -9.5.
Oh, all right. Let's
close,
go. Yeah.
Close. So next up we have Green Bay going against traveling to San Francisco to take on the Niners. Trying not to look at this. I know it's going to be the Niners. So the Ravens were 9.5. Damn. I'll say it's going to be Niners -8 then.
I have Niners -9.5.
And it's going to be Niners -9.5. God
really?
damn. Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, dude, because I don't know if you remember earlier in the year, I think I said this on the pod a couple of weeks ago, like before, I don't remember how long it was, but I forget who it came from. I saw somewhere that a source said that no matter what field or what team, the Niners are starting at -5.
Really?
Yeah, they said right now in Vegas the way that the
pushing it from there.
It starts at -5 and then we move it from there.
They're like, we're not losing.
Any team on a neutral site. So that's how I worked from that to get to 9.5.
Because you would figure -4 and then just build up. Damn. All right, Sunday, 3 p.m. We got Tampa Bay going to Ford Field, which is a dome, so we don't have to be concerned about.
No concern about the snow.
This one's actually kind of tough. I don't know how you feel about it, but I
feel rough about picking it. I didn't feel rough about guessing.
I'm gonna take Detroit -5.5.
I have Detroit minus. Let me just confirm that 6.5. Just shy of the old touchdown.
It's Lions -6.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's Lions -6.
Oh, man. You know what this means?
What's that?
I'm going to lose so much money this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, 6 might not... Yeah, because this game ends in a field goal. I know I say that every fucking week, but...
Yeah.
A divisional game like this with one hot team, one, good team, but kind of, could be had.
Yeah. It's my hardest one to pick.
Yeah, this
it
one's
really
tough.
is. It's my hardest one to pick.
This game seems like it's, I know everyone's saying this, but it seems like it's happening every year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is only the third time we're seeing it, right? In the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I think, yeah. But Kansas City going against Buffalo, 6:30 p.m. Kansas City will be traveling for the first time. in a very long time.
For the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career.
Very long time.
He's never played a playoff game on the road. He's played all home playoff games and then the Super Bowl on a neutral site.
Dude, Buffalo is going to be so loud. They're going to be so loud.
Several people are going to the ER.
Yeah.
They're never even going to see the game.
It's going to be so wild. I'm going to take Buffalo -5.
I'm also taking Buffalo, and I got -2.5.
Oh, you went low. Let's see. Buffalo -2.5. Dog, you're fucking...
Really?
Yeah, dog.
Fucking shit, dude.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you want your minute?
I mean, I don't really have a minute prepared.
I mean, none of us ever did.
I guess I can use like a pseudo minute here.
Go ahead.
I'll just talk about this game a little bit since it's fresh and what we're talking about here. I think Buffalo wins this game, and I think they cover as well. They're, for the first time in this legacy here, in this matchup, built to beat the Chiefs. And I know they're banged up on defense as well. They just had a couple big injuries. The safety, the linebacker, both got hurt last week. Can't think of their names right now. So it could be tough, but then KC, this is the least armored that Patrick Mahomes has ever been to go into battle in his career in terms of weapons. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox both look great. So, losing the wide receivers isn't stressing me out that much. Gabe Davis isn't going to play either. So it's going to be Trent Sherrills,
I think.
Trent Sherrills.
And Shakir.
And Khalil Shakir and Stephon Diggs and the 2 tight ends. And I think Buffalo wins this game. I'm picking Buffalo, and
Yeah.
I just think they're going to be able to run the ball. Josh is going to do some Josh shit. And
I think the stadium.
the spread stays at 2.5. I for sure think they cover. I don't know how much high, like 3.5. I'm probably sitting out.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. I really do think the stadium's going to play a huge factor because I just feel like Bills fans know like Mahomes has kind of had them for the most part, and I think it kind of feels like what you were just saying. This is the year. It kind of just feels like that.
Loud stadium, big playoff atmosphere, biggest game of a lot of these guys' lives. The number 1 receiver on the Chiefs right now, who would you say it is?
Rashee Rice.
Right, and Rashee Rice is a rookie, and earlier in the year they were struggling. It was reported that they were struggling getting Rashee Rice on the field full time because he still didn't know the entire playbook wholly. So I think a lot of communication issues, honestly. I know this sounds like a real like white bread chicken shit, like you don't know anything thing to say, but I really do think there's going to be communication issues with these guys. There's if Kelsey's the guy, and outside of that, these are all relatively new players. I know MVS has been there for a few years now, but this isn't the core that Mahomes is used to going to war with. So it should be interesting to say the least,
I mean, it's also very interesting. Everyone always talks about it, but just rookies popping into the playoffs and just kind of fizzling out. We mentioned it with CJ Stroud before, but yeah, that's just kind of how it feels too. It kind of feels like the opposite of the Packers, where everyone kind of stepped up. Just real quick, not really related to the playoffs, but I was thinking about it the other day. Do you think all this and Tyreek Hill is amazing, don't get me wrong, but do you think a lot of this Chiefs struggle has to do with the fact that we don't have Tyreek Hill to stretch the field anymore, so there's no middle open of the field, like middle open field for Kelsey to catch the ball? Or
I don't think it's necessarily all Tyreek Hill. Obviously you lose who is arguably the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to be hurting.
Right.
But I don't think that's the answer to why it's gotten to the point that it is. We know they lead the league in drops.
That's huge, yeah, that's true.
These guys can't catch a fucking cold.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney is who we thought he was.
In Giants made a good call now.
I don't even see him on the field a lot anymore.
It's probably better for them to keep him on the field.
And it's the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career that we've seen him outwardly frustrated.
Right.
But he knows that he can't just out these guys, because there was a game a couple of weeks ago late in the year where it was like Toney dropped 2 and maybe Noah Gray dropped 1, and there was like 4 drops in the first half, and you could see on his face like he just wanted to say, these fucking guys can't play.
Right.
But he's never gonna, being the guy that he is, he's never going to, which no quarterback really would or should, but he'll never say that. But the first time we've seen him frustrated really in his career because he's making the plays and the balls aren't getting caught.
Right.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I wouldn't throw him the ball further than 10 yards downfield. That guy needs contact lenses or something.
It's crazy because he wasn't that bad on the Packers.
He needs to look into getting... Right, but he wasn't that bad on the Packers, but he's playing with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I know Mahomes is still generational, but, like, we can't really point to receivers Mahomes has made yet.
But
We can point to a slew of guys like Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady made receivers, made their careers. Like, there is no guys like Austin Collie.
Right, yeah.
There is no Austin Collie without Peyton Manning. There is no Wes Welker without Tom Brady.
Really digging deep on that one.
Aaron Rodgers basically made Greg Jennings, because remember, he went to Minnesota and did what? Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. These guys, so there's something to be said there. And what I was going to say was he needs to look into getting a medical fucking
like LASIK
prescription for the blacked out visor. Because I don't
make a difference.
Well, every fucking ball he drops is a deep ball when he's about to walk in the end zone, and you can see he's losing it in the sky. So it's either the sun or the lights. He's losing the ball in the light.
Right.
That's the only excuse for anybody to not catch those balls the way he's missing them. And, like, yeah, it happens. But it's happened to him 3 or 4 times this year.
Right.
Where they're game-changing plays, and he's losing track of the ball in the air. You know?
Yeah, at least gotta get your hands on it.
Even Kelsey's having a big drop issue this year. They're all dropping the fucking football.
I wonder why.
And it's not just Tyreek Hill. Say what you want about him. Juju's not there anymore.
Right.
Say what you want about him. Sammy Watkins isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
We're relying on guys like Justin Watson to be our big third down guy.
He's doing okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And nothing against Justin Watson.
Yeah.
He's doing great. But it's not just Tyreek Hill is my point.
Yeah.
That's the long-winded version of...
I was just interested because I was thinking about it. I was like, is this what this is now?
No, it's a combination of that and the guys that are there suck. Besides Rashee Rice.
I think they're slated to sign someone in the offseason. I think it's just too transparent. Like,
high draft pick again.
Yeah, like maybe something like that.
Speaking of Sky Moore, they just opened up his 21-day window to
Really?
return. Yeah, Sky Moore's maybe it was him who dropped the pass that day, not Noah Gray.
Maybe
because he's another one that's
Yeah.
always got a case of the fuck arounds when it comes to catching the football. Shall we handicap?
Yeah, we can handicap.
Shall we review?
These spreads back up.
So last week's episode, we announced the regular season total records, and we were wiping the slate clean for the playoffs. So here are our records through wild card weekend. Jack sent guesses, and we never let his guesses play on Guess the Lines.
Oh, damn.
I went 5-1. My only loss being Cleveland. My only other team that I picked that lost the game but covered the spread was the Rams. Jack went 4-2. I believe he lost on Miami and on Detroit. Bryan went 4-2. Your 2 losses are the same.
Yep.
And then Alessino went 3-3. God even knows what his losses were. Let's get into it.
All right. You pull up the spreads. So
Houston, Baltimore spreads Baltimore minus 9.5. And the Green Bay spread is also minus 9.5. Detroit's minus 6.
damn, Jack went to Raw this week.
And Buffalo's
Sorry,
minus
Jack.
2.5. You
All
said?
home dogs. I mean, home favorites.
Would he have beaten me, you think?
It would have been very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
Damn,
Detroit
dude.
minus 6.5, minus 10, minus 9.5, minus.
So he bing bonged this one. I bing bonged that one. We both would have gotten a point here. What did he have for
He
Buffalo?
bing bonged here,
He-
10 here. He had 6.5 here, and he had 3 here. But you bing bonged this one.
I
so-
bing bonged too.
Yeah, so you
I would have still beat
You would
him.
have beat him by 1.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I'm happy that he didn't win while he wasn't here because that was.
Imagine calling him and being like, "Tell your manager you're getting a minute."
Yeah. Tell me to smoke break real quick.
Tell him it's time to suck vape, because it's not going to suck itself.
All right, Houston going to Baltimore 9.5. So 9.5 is high for a high power offense,
9.5 is so high.
but my concern is this Baltimore defense coming off a bye week, and boy are they good. You know,
boy, are they good at playing
Yeah.
football, man.
they're good at the football.
Yeah.
This is kind of how I feel about this game. I think, you know, if Houston wasn't going against such a stacked defense, I think it'd be more in their favor because the offense is just so high power. But to be going up against a stacked defense, like if they had wound up with Buffalo, maybe a little bit different. But I don't know. Talking about the defense, 9.5 still seems high to me. I'm going to go with Houston here. I don't think they win, but
I just have to. I've been saying it since week like 4 or 5 or 6. Until they fucking prove me wrong, give me Baltimore.
yeah, I regret going to Houston now. But
What was Jack's pick?
let's see.
Should we call Alessino while he's driving in the snow?
Where's he going?
They're going to Pennsylvania.
Oh, he didn't give me handicaps. He just gave me guess the lines, locks, and bet.
Oh, what a schmuck. All right, it is what it is.
Do you want to
Fuck
call
him.
Alice?
I mean, you could call him if you want. Yeah, yeah, call him. What's the worst that happens, which is the 98% chance,
He doesn't.
is that he doesn't answer the phone. So while we let this ultimately go to voicemail, we could just move on to the next game. And if he picks up, I'll just let him cut me off as soon as he gets in.
All right, so we have Green Bay traveling to San Fran, take on the Niners. Niners are minus 9.5.
The Niners are minus 9.5, and I just think the hottest team in football right now is the Green Bay Packers, and I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers.
This one is hard. So the Niners and Green Bay haven't versed this year at all yet, right? I don't think they versed each other.
That's a good question.
Um,
It sounds right, but
my concern is really kind of like. So this game is either the 49ers completely dominating, or it's an instant fucking classic. That's how I see this going. The bye week concerns me, same way it does with the Ravens.
I think the Niners are the giant that's riding too high, a little too big for their britches right now. Green Bay's the last team they wanted to see. Green Bay is without a doubt the last of these teams, of these other 3 teams remaining that they wanted to see.
So they haven't versed this year.
No, they didn't.
I'm going to go with the Niners. Now this is going to be a tough one. Tampa Bay go into Detroit, 3 p.m. on Sunday. It's Detroit minus 6. And this one's hard because, like we were talking about before, Detroit, decent team, probably could make a run. Tampa Bay, hot right now. Very hot right now. Baker, hot right now against the questionable secondary. 6 seems high to me, personally.
6 seems mighty high to me.
Very high.
Just got done talking about how bad that secondary is.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua just went for 181 on him. Mike Evans was awfully quiet on Monday night.
Yeah, we know how Mike Evans games go.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes bad, the game, the next game.
We know where this is going. Give me the Bucks,
Yeah, I'm
dude.
going to take the Bucks too. Even if they don't win, I think they definitely cover 6. Here it is. The main event. The Sunday night main event.
I already said my piece
said
on
what
this
you said.
game. I said what I... Bitch! I said what I said.
I'm also going to go with the Bills. I, low-key... So, before we get into the Bills game real quick, I'll just say this. I am officially... I know I just went against them, but this was strictly just to cover the points. I'm on the Lamar Jackson bandwagon. I would love to see him win a ring.
Me too.
I think between the teams that he's been on, who he's been playing with, getting the MVP season, I think the ring would completely solidify. I mean, not that it hasn't, but it's just very frustrating to see.
31 teams weren't interested in him less than a year ago. Less than a year ago, the Jets opted to pick geriatric Aaron Rodgers instead of picking up the phone. And like I said, like months ago, I think part of it was just all the owners were like, we're getting, we're coming together.
Yeah, we're not going to pay this man.
And we're just, not even that they're not going to pay him. We're just going to put our foot down on players, just trying to decide what they're going to do when they're going to do it.
Yeah.
you know. So I think that was part of it. Similarly to the way everyone in the NBA after the Gobert trade just decided we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
We're not just going to let players try to bully us into sending them wherever they would like to go when they're under contract with us. So I think that was part of it, but mind-blowing to me that nobody even picked up the phone and said, hey,
Yeah, I mean,
what can we do?
like, it's just you look at the whole.
I mean, are the Jets the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now if they traded for Lamar instead of Aaron Rodgers? I think so.
It would definitely be a better
Lamar and Brees Hall.
and Garrett Wilson. But that's what I'm saying, though. We're talking about that now. Who really has Lamar thrown to besides Mark Andrews? It's it's an old point, but when you have an MVP season, you've been in the playoffs since you've been in the league. Besides, even the year he got hurt and Huntley had to play in the playoff spot. But
I'm gonna zig on you. This offense got better the minute Mark Andrews went out.
no, you don't even have to say because Isaiah Likely. I mean, just completely.
But just in general, the entire offense got better as soon as Andrews got wet, and Andrews is going to be back in the lineup. I
No,
believe.
they confirmed.
No, he's out.
Yeah, I
Alright,
got
cool.
it during work.
Cool.
But no, Lamar just the media always slights him. We're always talking about this, that, and the other thing, and I feel like he's not really getting the credit that he deserves, especially with the personnel that he's playing with. And I just feel like, I don't know, he deserves the ring. Besides Lamar, if the Niners win, it just is what it is. That's just how the season played out. But man, do I also kind of feel like it might be Josh Allen's year to get a ring. I know every year it's far-fetched.
I know.
And I just feel like every year it's always, he never gets there. But it's either always going to be that year and it's Phillip Rivers, or it's not going to be that year one year. Do you know what I'm saying? And is this...
And it's Peyton Manning.
And is this when it happens? Like, so... Lamar's really who I want to get it. If the Niners win, it is what it is. But boy, Josh Allen, man. Bills are plus 500 to win it all. I took a little gander last night. Didn't put anything on it, but I'm thinking about it. It's something I'll have to get in before Sunday, that's for sure. But
I might take the Packers.
Packers, well, I think they were plus 800. Let me see. Man, that's a spicy meatball. Maybe I'll
there's just something about this Packer team.
Something about Flacco.
There's just something about love.
Flacco.
There's just
something about Bryce Young.
Something about Bryce Love, dude, that I just love back there, you know?
Here we go, futures. So, yeah, I even had it marked up. We were taking a gander. Packers are plus 2,500.
Yeah. Daddy might throw a couple of fucking units on that one, dude.
The Lions are plus 900.
Yeah, because the Niners are so significantly favored over anyone in the NFC.
Yeah, plus 170.
Is anyone in the AFC that high?
No, next one up is Ravens plus 290.
No, I mean, like, what's the highest? Like,
oh, no.
Highest odds? No, opposite way.
Down here.
Oh, the Texans are plus 2,800, which is crazy. Okay.
Bucks and Packers, though, plus 2,500. Very interesting. Nice little 5-spot gets you $130. So if you're looking to...
On the Packers?
Yeah.
If you're looking to
10 gets you $260 if
you're looking to pay the car insurance in February,
right.
Put a little $5. Don't have a Starbucks.
$650, baby.
Yeah,
or
but
you
then
could just go 1,300, 50 to 1,300. Now that
would be to win $1,250. You get your 50 back.
Well, either way.
Yeah,
that would be something.
I don't know, man. Something about these Packers really excites me.
It's a fun team. It will be. I don't know why I put this shit over here. It'll be interesting to see, like we were saying, next year. Really, when they're all kind of more formed, and maybe they make a free agency move. Who knows? I doubt it. They really don't have to. Maybe on the defense.
I mean, they might lose Aaron Jones.
You think so? Is he in a contract here?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Sure the fuck is, partner.
Derrick Henry to the Packers.
Derrick Henry to the Packers would be spicy.
Could you imagine Derrick Henry?
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm
really?
Like, where is Henry going? Not to the Packers, just in general. Like, who would sign him? Like, where would he?
Yeah, I was talking about this with Joey the other day.
Baltimore is where I came to.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion I came to. Very, very interesting stuff.
Derrick Henry in a Ravens jersey would be
number 2 Ravens
so
jersey.
Badass.
Go back to his college number.
Oh my god, he would look tough as fuck,
Bro,
dude.
he looked tough as fuck in the Alabama jerseys with the number 2.
Yeah.
That was before they outlawed like the belly shirt shit,
Right.
right? So he would have the shit like rolled and like dude, the shirt was like above his belly button,
Yeah.
single digit number. He's fucking 5 inches taller than the quarterback.
Yeah. Just looking tough as
Monster,
fuck,
dude. And he was mixing in earlier on. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought he was mixing it up with Mark Ingram. I thought they were on the same.
They could have been.
Or am I fucking that up completely? He was mixing it up with one of the big Bama running backs that came out. So like the dichotomy of the two, like one running on and one running off the field, like normal size running back, monster.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Derrick Henry to the Ravens or the Packers would be fun. Bengals too, because I feel like Mixon. Actually, no, Bengals have a decent rookie running back.
Dude, the Bengals got to worry about keeping the guys they got. They got to worry about paying.
True.
Jamar Chase said he wants his money up front. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And they also asked him how he felt about the team's probability of bringing back T. Higgins. They said, "What do you think the odds you guys are going to be able to keep T?" And his answer at a presser was, "That depends how much money I take."
Yeah.
So they're not gonna be having money to go get a guy like Derrick Henry, especially with Mixon still on the roster, and they really like P. Ryan over there.
No, not P. Ryan. Chase Brown.
P. Ryan's over there too. Is he not still over there?
In Cincinnati?
Samaje P.
No,
Ryan?
he's on Broncos now.
That's Samaje P. Ryan or
Samaje.
Michael P. Ryan?
Samaje's on the Broncos.
Okay, so I'm just an asshole.
Well, it was just this year. It wasn't, and it was very,
But it's the end of the year, Brian.
well,
That means I went all year.
put it this
thinking
way.
P.
He's
Ryan.
very much under the radar, and if you didn't play fantasy, he was
I did not play.
Then
yeah.
you wouldn't even know, because it didn't matter. They were playing Javonte most of the time anyway, and Jaleel McLaughlin played for most of the year. He barely played for
Yeah, you're right. Jaleel McLaughlin. Last week's Glizzy and Lock. If you're new to the show, we moved on. We do 3 locks during the regular season. Due to the lack of games, we are limited to 1 lock and 1 Glizzy God pick of the week. The Glizzy God pick of the week is our favorite underdog to win the game, not to cover. We are looking for money line wins here. Alessino's Glizzy God of the week was Tampa Bay, and his lock was KC minus 4.5. Good week for the boys on this end. Jack put the Glizzy and the lock on the same team, Tampa Bay. Brian's Glizzy was the Rams, stunning loss by 1. Locked up Green Bay plus 7. I locked up KC minus 4.5. And my Glizzy God pick of the week was the Green Bay Packers, baby.
Yeah. Good week. Good week all around.
Yeah, a good week. Yeah, I mean the 1 loss on the Rams money line. Which, what are you gonna do? At least you didn't have a lock on the Cowboys to win the game.
No.
At least that game was close. So this week, what do you got? You got something for me here?
Very easy. I feel like it's going to be very similar on the board here. I'm locking up Buffalo. It just feels like it's going to happen. And my Glizzy is going to be Tampa.
Yeah. I'm going to lock up Tampa Bay plus 6. Which means, Brian, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it on him. The Glizzy God pick of the week is once again the Green Bay Packers, baby.
Damn.
Go Pack, go.
Wow. I can't even
I'm showing my gratitude for you giving me the best quarterback my team has ever had in my life, despite the fact that he only played 4 snaps this season. And I'm pulling for the Green Bay Packers to make it to the dance this season. And if they're able to stun the San Francisco 49ers at home, to me, try to stop them after that.
That's what I was going to say coming off that is if they go into San Fran, Levi Stadium and beat the Niners, I mean, we have a Packers-Ravens Super Bowl maybe?
Could be.
That's an ugly Super Bowl.
Could be.
But that is interesting. But yeah, man, boy, if they come in and beat them, that's, I should already know. Oh, that game's on Saturday, even better.
Saturday,
8:15.
yeah, night, right? Yeah, your boy might get have a couple of soda pops. Might have a couple. We got fucking UFC Saturday night too.
It's fine by the time
this
game goes off.
I don't know what else is on the card, but Dreykus money line, I think, is in play for me.
Dude, I'm betting on Dreykus. It's not even a question.
Well, I didn't know he was one of you.
He's not. He
He's
just
not.
kisses men on the lips. He has a girl. He's engaged to a girl.
That picture of him getting engaged to a
It's one of
man
his
wasn't.
coaches. It was just a joke.
Oh.
But he does kiss his coaches and brothers, and that's like a thing in South
Okay.
Africa apparently. So
Very European.
very South African.
Well,
Yeah.
Where do you think? Why do you think there are
Yeah,
white
no,
people
I
in
know,
South Africa, Brian?
Let's see. Oh, you like Raquel Pennington, don't you? Or you don't like Raquel Pennington?
No, I like Raquel Pennington.
She's fighting. It's an okay card outside of the Strickland Dreykus fight. We got just to go through real quick while we're here. Raquel Pennington taking on Myra Benasilva. We got the always hardy and tough Neil Magny taking on Mike Malott. I feel like I kind of know him. We got Chris Curtis going against Marc-Andre Barrault. I don't know him too well, and then we got Arnold Allen.
Marc-Andre Barrault.
Yeah, you know
Barrault? Yeah.
Yeah, he's going against Chris Curtis.
He, I mean, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that man is a grappling menace.
We'll find out. He's taking on Chris Curtis, who is a wrestler, so it might just be one of those type of fights. And then Arnold Allen going against Mozar Iloev. So, let's see if we have anything popping up. Got Brad Katona on the prelims, taking on Garrett Armfield. And other than that, pretty much it.
Seems a lot like a one fight card.
Well, you know what it is? I'm seeing it here. It looks like Jan Blachowicz was supposed to take on.
You're a stag this weekend, right?
Till Sunday.
Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing. I was gonna ask you.
Telling Emily that we're not hanging out. It seems.
Well, so that was the thing. I know it's her birthday this weekend, so
Sunday.
I didn't know.
Sunday
It
is
is Sunday. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it all. We don't need to talk about it.
No. Yeah, I was gonna do that. Anyway.
There was a reason that I have the weekend open that you know about. You just don't know it yet. Well, no, you know it's not that serious.
Okay.
Jack's picks.
Jack triple locked Detroit.
There's only one lock, dude.
Well, no. I wrote triple locked because I was being dumb, but he took Detroit -6, and then yeah, I was writing it down as you were saying it, and then his. Hold on, you didn't take a glizzy. He locked the line spread, and his bet is Montgomery anytime.
What a piece of dirt, dude. Text him, see if we get an answer.
All right,
obviously not immediately, but whatever.
No, I did write on the sheet 3 times lock for the try line. So, and then I literally wrote it as you were like, it's the weekend, it's a divisional weekend, so we're only doing one pick. 3 times. Detroit -6. See if he gets back to us. Alley's might be popping Friday night at 7:55. Is probably when you're starting your bowling night, I feel like, or at least getting into it. So he might be.
Could be pouring. He could be pouring a few pitchers. I mean, he could be watching basketball. Because I know when he bartends, he walks in there if there's ball on and just turns the games on like every TV and sits there and watches his bets.
I mean,
while he occasionally serves a drink.
The few times we went to the Center Each to go bowling, the bar interactions are like people walking in to get a drink at the bar and then leaving. No one like stays in there.
Right, but so I think it's also a server deal. I think
he brings it out too.
Like we'll come to the lane, take an order, and go back to the bar. You know, I think that might be more for league play or just tomorrow night, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. Last week we bet, and he just got moved to Saturday nights instead of Saturday afternoons, and he's like not excited.
Damn.
Yeah, it sucks to be 21 and work 6 days a week.
Yeah.
7 days a week, whatever. Last week we lost 1,000. We had one parlay for $595. It was James Cook 1 TD, Travis Kelce 2 TDs, and then we had a big parlay with adjusted lines. We had the Browns money line, the Bucks money line. We moved the Bills line down to 6.5 from what was it originally at 9.5. Moved the Bills line down to 6.5. Moved the Chiefs line up to 6.5, and that was 405 to win 51.94. We lost both of those. We're down another rack. We're down minus $6,155, and we are running out of time. Here's what I propose for at least $100. just to say it was fun. Hey, let's give it a try and see how we feel. Tampa Bay money line, Packers money line. Parlay it, stick it in a basket, put 100 on it, and that'll be a significant shovel if it hits to try to do some damage here.
I'll do it
Right.
based off the fact that as much as I think the Niners will win, man, if Green Bay does go in and beat them,
Make it odds on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jack has taken the Packers as his glitz. So y'all
What a scumbag, dude. What a scumbag, bro. Scum fuck loser. All day at work today I was saying, I think I'm going to bet on the Packers. And then he said, what's the spread? I said, I don't know. I'm not looking up the spreads yet. We're playing against the lines tonight. And he said, I think that's a bad pick. He said, I don't like it. Bryan, he looked at me and said, I don't like that bet. And I said, yeah, but you didn't like them against the Cowboys either. So suck nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And now he's going to take the Packers. That's fine. Whatever.
Okay. Both money lines, right? We're here.
Packer money line, Buck money line.
Full stack. Full stack.
What is it?
Plus 1362. Full stack's going to get you 13.
Yeah, 1362.
Yeah.
All right, so 100 on that to win 1362. Put a little dent in what we got going on here. Outside of that, do we want to go big on Buffalo?
What do we have left?
$900. I only put 100 on it.
Oh.
I could put more on it if you want.
Oh, I read the wrong thing off then.
Wait, what do you mean?
Which bet
The Packers Tampa Bay money line?
is 100? Oh, I put 1,000 on that, dog.
Yeah, but it was plus 1362.
Oh, so you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ignore
So
me.
it's $1,362.
Ignore me.
Yeah. I mean, we could put more on it if you want, but
No.
I'm just looking at the board here, and you and me disagree on Baltimore. We already have Tampa Bay involved, who we both like. You glizzied them, I locked them.
Buffalo's fine.
I like Buffalo, minus 2.5.
Because out of all these games, Buffalo truly feels like the only lock for me. It's the only game that I feel like I might just be on the Josh Allen hype train, but I think they beat the Chiefs.
Should we do Buffalo minus 2.5, Josh Allen anytime touchdown?
Rushing?
Yeah, or James Cook. Or any player. I'm opening the floor up here.
Josh Allen feels the safest.
I know, I'm not scared that he just scored one.
Neither am I. Not when he just ran fucking,
Yeah,
what was that, it's like 65
52.
yards? Yeah, whatever the fuck it was.
52 yards.
Yeah, we'll parlay that. So we're taking minus 2.5.
Yep.
And let's get into this shit real quick. Minus 2.5. Josh Allen anytime is going to be plus 194. We're putting how much? 900?
I was going to say put like 550 on it.
Okay, I'll put 550.
Let's make it 5.
500. 500 will get you, it'd be, I guess, 970, it looks like.
Yes, 970. All right. We got to get Jack's David Montgomery anytime touchdown in there, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You want to work a little TD parlay and put the
I was
rest? We
gonna
have
say-
400 left.
Yeah.
Let's try to take a big swing.
Do we want to do like each game? Do we want to?
We could do one from each game.
All right. So we'll start
At
Houston.
least.
Well, Houston and Ravens feels like a very safe game to have some scoring in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Nico Collins probably gets matched up against Humphreys. Probably. The linebackers there are stacked, so running touchdown makes me a little nervous.
Yeah.
Why does it feel like Dalton Schultz, but the linebacker still?
Hear me out.
Yeah.
And correct me if he's not on this team anymore. Am I? Bobby Trees?
Yeah, he's on the Texans.
Yeah, Bobby Trees.
Plus 475.
Jesus
for Bobby
Christ,
Trees.
really?
Yeah.
Maybe not then.
It's a huge
Maybe
jump.
not.
Dalton Schultz is 295.
What about
Yeah.
what about Dalvin? First of all, let's just what are the odds on Dalvin?
Plus 700.
Okay, so we won't put him in a parlay. Maybe we save a hundo.
Maybe we take him safe. Yeah, because they might just throw him in just for shits and gigs and see what happens. Yeah, that's interesting.
Maybe we just put that on its own.
Yeah. What about Singletary? No, linebacker stuff. Beckham?
What about Schultz?
Stingley. I was thinking about Schultz too, honestly.
What's Schultz at? Like 250?
295.
Yeah, because he's been like pretty good in that red zone offense, and he's been quiet the last 2 games.
Or we take Likely at
What?
plus 145.
I could fuck with taking Likely.
Alright, so we'll go Likely. And then, how many are we planning on doing? You want to do a 4 or do you want to just do 3?
Well, we got Montgomery's in there, right?
We'll get Montgomery in there. Packers, Niners. It's hard to pick which receiver is going to score on the Niners. And I also feel the same way about the Packers. Christian McCaffrey obviously being the safest.
Yeah.
But
Debo.
I was going to say, what about Debo? What about Debo to get a rushing touchdown? Not that it matters. But
No, they're the same, yeah.
plus 100.
I'll put Debo in there.
And
then hear me out. Khalil Shakir. I know he just scored last week. But
no, but he seems to be kind of getting into a rhythm. Plus 300 for Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir. Charles. How much did you want to put on this?
what are the odds?
Plus 34.28.
Jesus Christ. 300.
300 would take us to $10,284.
Yeah.
And if we somehow hit it, it's like never
What was
even
it?
played
10,000?
this year. $284,000.
That's not necessarily true. We'd be up $4,000.
Oh, that's right. We're still down.
We'd be up $4,000. And then just 100 on Dalvin Cook to get in
I
for
think
fucking
I think it's interesting.
fucking why nots.
Because it just seems like one of those things where they're like, they just signed him this week or 2 weeks ago, right? Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Plus 700. Yeah.
All right, I fuck with that. So we got Dalvin Cook anytime touchdown, a little fuck around bet. We got 100 to win 700 there. We got the Green Bay money line, Tampa Bay money line parlay, 100 to win 1,362. Buffalo minus 2.5 parlayed with the Josh Allen anytime touchdown, which that if you're looking to make a safe one, and that feels like a safe one to us, I'm sure that's going to feel like a safe one to anyone listening to this right now. That's plus 192, and we're putting 500 to win 970 on that. And then here's the big swing stab: one player to score a touchdown from every game. Isaiah Likely, David Montgomery. That's Jack's pick. Debo Samuel down by the schoolyard, and Khalil Shakir, who has a more heightened role with the definite absence of Gabe Davis. And that is $300 to win $10,284. And we're taking big swings, and we're exchanging blows with the book. It's been a while since we, delivered a blow to them. So numbers say we're due for a big one this week.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to watch some good playoff football. We were mostly blessed with a lot of good games. I know the blowout in Dallas. Maybe that's not a good game to some people. To me, I'll never get tired of watching Dallas get the shit kicked out of them ever, and I mean ever. And other than that, I think most of the games were pretty good. I know the Cleveland-Houston game was a stinker, but the Chiefs-Dolphins game wasn't a blowout all the way through and through. it was a game with its tendencies until eventually they pulled away in like the late third quarter, right?
Yeah, and it was pretty much just over. I mean, yeah, most of the games were kind of just what they were.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be the case this week.
No, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun weekend of football. It's always good whenever you got 2 days of nothing on the schedule but football with a little bit of UFC in between to cleanse the palate.
Fucking 19-degree weather be a little bit better.
Yeah, fuck it. It's going to be 40 on Monday, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's what I hear. It's what they're saying.
That's what they always say.
So, anything else? No. Go Packers. Brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Stay Thirsty Company, Dino Skate Park, and Justin's Chop Shop in West Hampton Beach. Peace out.
Stay tuned.